Hello and welcome to this special segment with me, Aishwarya Jain. Well, the Modi 3.0 government has completed its 100 days, with government stating that in the first 100 days, projects worth rupees 15 lakh crores were launched, with a focus on women, middle class, minorities and tribal youth, infrastructure and farmers. Joining with us is a special guest, Minister of State for Prime Minister's Office, Dr. Jitendra Singh. So thank you so much for speaking with NDTV and congratulations on the first 100 days of the governance. Let me begin with you, with asking on a lighter note, do you see Modi 3.0 a tough one with alliance partners coming in, also with opposition strength being increased compared to Modi 1.0 and Modi 2.0? And if you can also share with us what are your highlights of the first 100 days of the Modi 3.0 government?
Yeah, at the outset, incidentally, it also happens to be the birthday of Prime Minister Modi. So good wishes to all. We are going to observe this as Seva Pachwara like we last so many years. And I think we are fortunate to be led by someone who is considered to be the tallest leader across the world today. And some of us who have had the opportunity of working under his shadow have had the opportunity to learn from him. And when you talk of the 100 days, uh, I think this is also a reflection of the work culture and the personality which is reflected in his consistency and conviction uh, of, uh, of seizing the opportunity and then carrying forward to the ultimate goal. I think the hallmark of Prime Minister Modi is working in the last 10 years and also now has been that he is extremely committed. There's a commitment, there's conviction, there's courage of conviction. At the same time, there's sensitivity. And he also has the capacity to break the taboos of the past, to take some out-of-box decisions that we've seen in the last 10 years, whether it was the space sector, which got liberated, whether it was the governance reforms, where the test station was done away with, the interviews were abolished, etc., etc. And now in these 100 days, and before that, you want me to answer whether it is different, 3.0? No, it's absolutely not, because there have been allies even in the first term, there have been allies in the second term. Prime Minister Modi is of a firm belief that he has to carry everybody along. He likes to have the allies, regardless of the numbers. Now that the Congress party is conditioned by a certain kind of mindset, and therefore they tend to make such observations and comments. But as you rightly said, in the 100 days, of course, the 50 lakh crore investment for the infrastructure. But as far as the R&D is concerned, it's been a very important component in 100 days. We have 1,000 crore earmark for the venture fund in the space sector. Our astronauts are now under training for the Gaganyaan mission. Mission Mosam was launched only last week. Then BioE3 policy, which is going to be a game changer, that is biotechnology for economy, for environment, for employment. Because it's our considered view that the next industrial revolution is going to be bioeconomy driven, just as the last one in the 90s was IT driven. And therefore, we have already taken the lead. There's a new scheme called Vigyan Dhara. And of course, the Anusandhan National Research Foundation, which was established in the last few weeks of the second term, now receives rupees 50,000 crores of support in these 100 days. So there's been a long series. I think it's a reflection of what is going to come in the 5 years. And then, of course, the journey to the Viksit Bharat. But in a nutshell, I would say that first 5 years, we were getting rid of the baggage that had been inherited from the erstwhile, full of scandals, etc. The new initiatives were taken, which were consolidated in the second term. And third term is going to see a quantum leap forward when we move from the fragile 5 to first 5, then 4, and then 3, and so on.
So, but the opposition has been saying that these 100 days of Modi 3.0 government has been marked by U-turns. How do you respond to such charges?
Yeah, first of all, what they say, as he describes U-turn, is actually born out of the conditioning through which they have gone, conditioning of their mindsets over the years that they have been power. Modi is not the one who is known to take U-turn. And those who say that Modi has worked under pressure, working under pressure, do not know exactly what Modi is. And having said that, let me also make it very clear that, as I said in the beginning, Modi ji is a unique combination of conviction, courage, and at the same time, sensitivity. And he's been always saying that in the making of Viksit Bharat, each of the 140 crore citizens of this country must come forward to contribute their bit. And when he says so, he means that his decisions are also taking into consideration the sensitivities. So in a certain initiative, if there are inputs from the stakeholders which prompt him to revisit some of the aspects, I don't think that is taking a U-turn. That is something a part of a healthy democratic approach. And Prime Minister Modi has tried to set in a new political culture which rises above all this. We were just talking about the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. 4 crore Pakka houses constructed, 300 more, 3 crore more to be constructed. Decision taken in these 100 days. And nobody knows whose house is it, what religion, what caste. Where it is required, it is done. So Modi has raised the bar. He has raised the bar above caste, creed, vote bank considerations. And I don't think that it can be described as the pressure or anything of that sort.
So specifically to your ministry, what are the achievements you see, as many young kids who always look to what Department of Space in India is doing, and what India is aiming up to as far as Gaganyaan project is concerned?
Yeah, the Gaganyaan is going to happen next year. We are already doing the trial missions because just as it's equally, it's as much interesting and amusing sending up the human being, it's also equally important to get them back safe. And therefore, we'll have the last trial, or you can say the final dress rehearsal in the form of a robo mission, which would be uh, led by a female robo called Wyoming. That will happen somewhere in the first 6 months of 2025, and then followed by the proper mission. She'll perform all those tasks that will be performed by the human, including coming back, landing back into the waters and being retrieved from there. And as far as the space startup is concerned, again, thanks to Modi, the second term, the decision taken to liberate the space sector in these 100 days, we've gone up from just one digit startup to almost 300 space startups. And some of them are world-class potential, and this is going to open up many more new avenues. National Research Foundation, which I just now mentioned, is going to be a game changer. It's rather a better form of the research society that you have in some of the countries like US and Germany. Now we are in a position where we don't lag behind, which was happening in the Congress days. I'll just give you a small example. Television, for example, happened in USA in 1950s, and the famous 1960 presidential election where Kennedy turned the tables on Nixon happened because of a TV debate. But here in India in 1960, we did not know what is TV about, what is debate about. It came here only after a decade and a half. But today it is not so. Our quantum mission, we are among the 4 or 5 nations. In bioeconomy policy, we are among the first. In fact, during G20 also, Prime Minister initiated the global bio platform. So I think we are now not only in a position to give cues to others, but also to give lead in many aspects as far as our scientific endeavors are concerned. And that has generated a huge lot of startup opportunities. We were only 350, 400 startups in 2040. Today, we are more than 1.5 lakh or so. And in the days to come, this is going to go much further. And as far as the youth employment is concerned, yeah, that comes to my mind. In these 100 days itself, an amount of 28,600 crore has been specifically earmarked to establish 12 industrial nodes, which are expected to generate indirect or direct employment for as many as 40 lakh youth. So I think this is now going to be a quantum leap, going to place India ahead of others.
So Prime Minister Narendra Modi was recently in Jammu and Kashmir in Doda. He spoke on Purple Revolution. Can you just highlight some facts about what Purple Revolution is and how this startup will bring more employment, job opportunities for youth in Jammu and Kashmir?
Yeah, yes, I'm glad that Prime Minister Modi was kind enough to mention that during his public rally the other day, just 2 days back at Doda, because Doda is the district from where it was born. It has, yes, again created a new genre, new concept of agri startups. We already have about 3,000, 4,000 farmers engaged in lavender cultivation, lavender farming, lavender marketing. And this has given us a very good model of integration between technology, research academy, and market. And it's my firm belief that if we move on only when we come out of silos and work in integrated fashion. And I think lavender revolution, startups and the purple revolution is one of the finest examples of that. It's now spread over to the other hill states like Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, and also other parts of Jammu, which is going to be an entirely new avenue. And interestingly, I can share with you, some of the corporate sector boys have given up their jobs Recently, I've come across two boys who gave up their job in Bengaluru and took to this lavender startup. So this is going to, because this has been possible because many of those resources which were available in India, and notably two resources, the Himalayan resource and the other one is marine resource. We have 7,500 kilometer long uh, coastal area. And the new blue economy, the blue deep sea vision, and the blue economy concept also has been generated under Prime Minister Modi. So these are the avenues which were there with us for centuries, but we never actually explored them. And now when we explore them, that will give us an edge over the other nations. And that's what is going to contribute hugely to the making of India of 2047.
So elections are heating up in Jammu and Kashmir. What are you picking up as we will be witnessing for the very first time elections after almost a decade?
No, I think if you ask me, Deep, I would first compliment Prime Minister. The first time the mainstreaming of democratic processes in Jammu and Kashmir has happened. It's really a festival, as it is said to be, the festival of democracy. Because we have seen times in Jammu and Kashmir where there would be just 8 or 10% voter turnout. Once I said in the parliament, whether we could actually recognize a member as a member of parliament would come with only 1 lakh voter turnout because he actually have the representative character. Now we have as much as the national level. For example, DDC almost 70-80%, the Lok Sabha is 60%. There were times when there were hardly any candidates contesting and hardly any voters. Now we have multiple number of candidates. So there's a resurgence of democratic aspiration in Jammu and Kashmir. And thanks again to Prime Minister Modi's manner in which he has handled and approached Jammu and Kashmir.
Dr. Singh, are you saying that there is no doubt that the next Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister will have the equal powers as any other Chief Minister of the country? Again, there are doubts which are raised by your opposition parties in Jammu and Kashmir who compare Jammu and Kashmir with Delhi, UT with a Chief Minister and more powers to the Lieutenant Governor?
No, that is quite hypothetical. I'm not getting into that. But what is being reiterated time and again by the opposition is that, and they are also declaring in their manifesto that we will restore back statehood. Now, I don't understand where does that come from because the statehood has already been announced by Prime Minister Modi. He announced it in the public rally in Doda. He announced it in the public rally that was held at Pakshi Stadium, Srinagar. Home Minister has reiterated it time and again on the floor of Parliament. So now they are trying an old trick. As I said the other day, some of these politicians are still trying the tricks of the last election, whereas the voter has moved on. The media has become real-time reporting. So they know what they are trying to do is that they know the statehood is in offing. So if we keep manufacturing this narrative, then maybe tomorrow we'll be able to say when it actually happens, then look at it was we who built pressure. But it's not that. I think Prime Minister Modi has approached Jammu and Kashmir with a very democratic mindset. And the results are there for everyone to see this. If you happen to visit Delhi, you'll see the festival of democracy happening there for the first time since independence.
Dr. Singh, can I ask you at this moment that am I speaking to the next Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir?
No, absolutely not, absolutely. That doesn't happen in party. It's not a party with any kind of entitlement. We are all, it's a cadre-based party. We are all karyakartas. The responsibilities keep changing, and the responsibilities are decided by our leadership after due consideration of the capabilities, also the circumstances, the given time. So absolutely, it's not like Congress or any other party. The decisions are taken on the dining table or the kitchen by the kitchen court. It's absolutely not. It's not given to our mindset also to think like that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Singh, for speaking with NDTV on 100 days of Modi 3.0 governance. It was a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.